The Tale of the Wicked Witch Baba Yaga. Once upon a time, there was a husband and wife who had a daughter. Then the husband was widowed. He suffered and suffered, and then married another wife. The evil stepmother hated the girl. She abused and scolded her, and only thought of how to finish her off. Then the father went to town on business, and the stepmother said to the girl, "Go visit my sister, your aunt, and ask her for a needle and thread. I want to sew a shirt for you." Her aunt was Baba Yaga with a bone leg. The girl didn't dare to say no, so she went, but first she visited her own aunt. "Hello, Auntie." "Hello, dear. Why are you here?" "My stepmother sent me to see her sister and ask for a needle and thread. She wants to make me a shirt." "It's very good, my niece, that you came to me first," said the aunt. "Here is a ribbon for you and some bread, butter and a piece of meat. If a birch offends you, tie the ribbon around it. If the gate creaks, slam it. It will hold you. Pour butter into the hinges. If dogs try to scare you, throw them some bread. If a cat tries to scratch you with its claws, you give it some meat." The girl thanked her aunt and went on her way. She walked and finally reached the forest. In the forest is a hut built on thin legs, and in the hut sits Baba Yaga with her bone leg. She weaves a canvas. "Hello, Auntie."
"Hello, niece,"
Baba Yaga says.
"What do you want from me?"
"My stepmother sent me to ask you for a needle and thread to make a shirt for me."
Okay, my dear. I will give you a needle and thread. In the meantime, you sit down and work a little.
So the little girl sat down near the window and began to weave. Then Baba Yaga went outside of the hut and said to her worker,
"I'm going to sleep now. You go and heat the bath and wash my niece. You better watch out and wash her well. When I wake up, I'll fry her and eat her."
When the girl heard these words, she was frightened. When Baba Yaga went to sleep, she started telling the worker, "My dear, you shouldn't put so much firewood in the oven. Fill up this much water. Carry the water in a sieve." And then she gave her her handkerchief. The worker heated the bath, and Baba Yaga woke up and went to the window and asked,
"Are you weaving, my niece? Are you weaving, dear?"
"I'm weaving, Auntie, weaving, dear." Baba Yaga went to bed again. The girl gave the cat some meat and asked, "My kitty brother, teach me how to run away from here." The cat said,
"Meow, on the table, there's a towel and a comb. Take them and run quickly, otherwise Baba Yaga will eat you. Baba Yaga will chase after you. Put your ear to the ground. Meow. When you hear that she is close, drop the comb. A dense forest will grow. While she gets through the forest, you will run far away. When you hear her chasing you again, throw down the towel. A deep, wide river will appear." "Thank you, my kitty brother." She thanked the cat, then took the comb and the towel and ran. Dogs rushed after her and tried to bite, and she gave them bread. The dogs let her go. Do you remember why the evil stepmother sent the girl to visit her sister? For flour, for advice, for a needle and thread. Great, you listen very carefully. For a needle and thread. On the girl's way, she had to go through a gate, but it creaked. She wanted to slam it shut. So the girl poured butter into the hinges. The gates let her through. Then a birch rustled. It wanted to stop her with its branches. So the girl tied a ribbon around it. The birch let her pass. The girl ran away and kept running and running, not looking back. And then the cat sat down at the window and began to weave.
Baba Yaga woke up and asked,
"Are you weaving, niece? Are you weaving, dear?"
and the cat answered her rudely,
"I'm weaving, aunt, I'm weaving, dear."
Baba Yaga rushed into the hut and saw that there was no girl, just the cat sitting and weaving. Baba Yaga began to scold the cat.
"Oh, you old rascal! Oh, you villain! Why did you let the girl go? Why didn't you scratch her?"
And the cat answered her,
"Meow, I've been serving you for so many years, and you never even threw me a bone to gnaw. But she gave me meat."
Baba Yaga ran out of the hut and pounced on the dogs.
"Why didn't you bite the girl?"
The dog said to her, "We've been serving you for so many years, and you never even threw us a burnt crust. She gave us real bread." Baba Yaga ran to the gate.
"Why didn't you creak? Why didn't they squeal? Why did you let the girl out of the yard?"
The gate said, "We have been serving you for so many years, you never once oiled our hinges. She did not spare even butter for us." Baba Yaga jumped at the birch.
"Why didn't you stop the girl with branches?"
The birch answered her, "I've been serving you for so many years, and you have never even tied a thread around me, and she gave me a beautiful ribbon." Baba Yaga then began to scold the worker.
"Why didn't you wake me up? Why didn't you call me? Why did you release her?"
The worker said, "I have served you for so many years, and I have never heard a good word from you. She gave me a handkerchief and spoke very kind to me." Baba Yaga screamed and shouted and made noise. Then she sat in a stupor and then rushed off in pursuit. And the girl ran and then stopped. She put her ear to the ground and heard. The earth was trembling, shaking. Baba Yaga was chasing her. She was already very close. The girl got out the comb and threw it over her right shoulder. A forest started growing, dense and tall, and the roots of the trees went deep underground. And the tops of the trees touched the clouds. Baba Yaga came running and was stopped by the forest. She began gnawing and breaking the wood. She gnawed and broke branches and trees, and the girl kept running and running. A short or a long time passed, and the girl put her ear to the ground and heard the earth was trembling and shaking. Baba Yaga was chasing her again, and she was already very close. The girl took the towel and threw it over her right shoulder. At that moment, an overflowing river appeared, wide and deep, so deep. Baba Yaga jumped into the river and gritted her teeth in anger. She couldn't get across it. So she returned home. She gathered her bulls and drove them to the river.
"Drink, my bulls. Drink the whole river to the bottom."
The bulls began to drink and drink, but the water in the river did not decrease. Baba Yaga got very angry. She lay down on the shore and began to drink the water herself. She drank and drank and drank until she exploded, and the girl kept running and running. In the evening, the father returned home and asked his wife, "Where is my daughter?" And the stepmother said, "She went to see her aunt, to ask her for a needle and thread. Yes, something has delayed her." The father was worried. He wanted to go look for his daughter, and just then his daughter ran in out of breath. She couldn't breathe. "Where have you been, daughter?" "Oh, father, the girl answered. "Stepmother sent me to see her sister. Her sister is Baba Yaga with the bone leg. She wanted to eat me. I barely ran away from her." When her father heard all this, he got very angry at the evil stepmother, and he kicked her out of the house with a dirty broom. Since then, he began to live alone with his daughter, and life was good and things were calm. As you can see, my good kids, there will always be those who will give wise advice and will help those in trouble. And if you treat others with kindness and care, they will always be happy to help you. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like, and don't forget to share our fairy tales with your friends.